Are you ready to turn your iPhone into a professional camera? Cause I just got my hands on some gear that honestly blew me away. I'm talking anamorphic lens flares, ND control, and a travel backpack that was clearly designed by actual creators. Sandmarc's lineup might just be the ultimate mobile filmmaking kit. So let's dive in and see if this gear actually lives up to the hype. Hi guys, my name is Tiago, hope you all doing well. Today we're talking about iPhone filmmaking. More specifically about a few very interesting pieces of gear that Sandmarc has sent me. But even though they sent out these products to me, I just want to clear out that this video is not sponsored, and Sandmarc didn't get any input on this video's script, neither got to see it before posting. So with all that out of the way, let's get going. First up, we have the phone cover. Sandmarc doesn't just make lenses and filters, they make a whole ecosystem, and right at the center is the Sandmarc Pro case. I've been using the Pro case for the iPhone 14 Pro because it's the model that I currently own. But Sandmarc also retails for other models as well, like the latest iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. And this thing is specifically designed for mobile filmmakers. It's slim, MagSafe compatible, and features an aluminum lens mount built right into the case. The case allows you to screw any of Sandmarc's lenses or filters directly onto the phone using a secure 17mm thread. And if you're planning to stack filters like a variable ND on top of your anamorphic lens, this is the most stable and reliable way to do it. The case itself is made out of a polycarbonate shell with a rubberized TPU frame, which means it's both lightweight and durable. The inside has a microfiber lining to protect your phone. And when it comes to the buttons, well, they are super responsive, not stiff like the ones you get on cheap third-party cases. It's got just enough grip without feeling bulky, which is something that I really appreciate when I'm filming handheld. If you're like me and want to be able to quickly hot swap lenses or filters, or just don't want to deal with lining up a universal clip every time, the Pro case is a no-brainer. You just screw the lens on and that's pretty much it. It's perfectly aligned every time with no need to constantly reshake your frame. When it comes to price, the Pro case retails at $39.99 for this version and $45 for the newer models, which in my opinion is a fair price considering the quality and usability of this case. Next up, we have the Sandmarc 1.55x anamorphic lens for iPhone, the ultra-wide version aimed at serious mobile filmmakers. This lens optically squeezes the image to give you that classic letterbox 2.751 cinematic aspect ratio when de-squeezed in post. This means a wider frame, oval bokeh, and those iconic horizontal blue flares. The lens has a solid metal build with multi-coated glass elements and it weighs about 73 grams, which feels both premium and reassuring. This kit includes a clip mount and a very nice carrying pouch. And when it comes to the mounting, it's actually very simple. You just screw it onto the lens, align the index marks, and it locks in securely. Also, the lens has a 43mm filter thread so that you can attach your ND filters directly to the lens. And in my opinion, this is super useful because you can maintain proper shutter angles and you can control the light in, for example, daylight shots. This lens offers true optical squeeze, which means you'll need to de-squeeze your footage in post. You can use Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut, or any other editing software of your choosing. Alternatively, you can use third-party apps like the Blackmagic Camera app, which is the one that I personally use, and I prefer to do it this way because it lets me monitor and record the de-squeezed footage in real time, and this is ideal for composing and focus. Now, when it comes to the price, this lens comes in at $189.99 for the 1.55x anamorphic or $159.99 for the 1.33x anamorphic, which in my opinion is a very low price to pay when you want to get anamorphic look, since anamorphic lenses are typically really expensive. I've been testing this gear for over a month now, but the first time I hit record with this lens, I legit giggled with excitement. Once de-squeezed, the footage looks truly cinematic. That 2.751 aspect ratio gives your content a dramatic, immersive feel, perfect for narrative, travel, music videos, or even YouTube intros that stand out. When it comes to the bokeh, this lens delivers oval-shaped bokeh, something that immediately gives away the anamorphic look. But the quality varies. At 48mm is where I got the best results. Smooth, slightly stretched, and cinematic bokeh. At 77mm I've got a more pronounced bokeh, but with some artifacts like concentric rings. And finally, at 24mm the bokeh is minimal and can appear a bit smeared due to wide-angle compression. It's obviously not creamy full-frame bokeh, but it's visually interesting and stylistically unique. And, well, here in between you and me, for a fraction of the price. Now, let's talk about the very characteristic anamorphic lens flares. This lens produces very bold horizontal blue flares. At 48mm they are clean and controlled, while at 24mm and 77mm they are more intense with layered streaks. Great for stylized sci-fi work, but in subtle scenes they may overpower the image. As expected from anamorphic optics, when it comes to lens distortion at 48 and 77mm we have very minimal distortion, while at 24mm there is a noticeable barrel distortion, with vertical lines curving mainly near the edges. Color reproduction is neutral, with no obvious shifts. Chromatic aberration is also minimal, just some occasional edge fringing, especially in the corners, but nothing that breaks the image. Overall, very clean for a mobile lens adapter. Now, let's talk about the autofocus performance. At 24mm the autofocus is flawless, fast and responsive, while at 48mm it's still very good but slightly slower, especially when tracking movement. And finally, at 77mm is generally good, but it may struggle a little bit sometimes. Well, overall, the Sandmarc 1.55x anamorphic lens delivers a true cinematic look. Not simulated, not cropped, a real optical anamorphic. And that includes ultra-wide frame, stylized bokeh and bold flares. It's obviously not flawless. You'll need to shoot intentionally and avoid certain focal lengths, especially in critical scenes. And, well, sometimes you also need to make use of the manual focus. And don't forget that you're still working within the constraints of a small smartphone sensor. But still, none of that negates what this lens can do. For mobile creators who want to step in true cinematic storytelling, this lens is an incredible tool. Next in our kit, the Sandmarc Motion Variable ND filter for iPhone. And this little guy might not look as flashy as the anamorphic lens, but it's essential for controlling your exposure in bright conditions. Basically, it's like sunglasses for your camera. Sandmarc's version is a 2 to 5 stop variable ND filter that you can dial darker or lighter with a twist. But why do you need this? Two big reasons: motion blur and exposure control. If you ever tried shooting video on an iPhone in bright sun, you probably noticed the footage looks a bit jittery. And this is because the phone's shutter speed ramps super high. With an ND filter, you can set your shutter speed to be the double of your frame rate. and this way you get natural motion blur in movement. Your footage immediately looks smoother and more film-like. When it comes to the price, this filter comes in at $99.99 for the filter only, or $129.99 with the Pro case, which in my opinion is a fair price considering its build quality and overall performance. This filter is made of a multi-coated cinema-grade glass in an aluminum frame, so it's not just a cheap piece of plastic. It feels solid and only weighs about 20 grams. On the front, it also has markings indicating the strength. Now, if you're using one of Sandmarc's add-on lenses, this same filter is designed to mount directly onto those lenses. It also comes with a clip mounting, but if you're using Sandmarc's Pro case, they also sell a step-up ring to attach the filter directly to the case's lens mount. It's great that this system is modular and that you can use the ND filter with or without the other lenses, giving you flexibility in how you shoot. The exposure reduction works consistently throughout the range. From ND8 to ND64, the filter gives solid light control without degrading sharpness or introducing blur. Even at max strength, detail is preserved well and the image stays uniform. No X pattern across the frame typical from the cross polarization. And this is a big win, especially for a variable ND on mobile glass. But do keep in mind that there is noticeable vignetting. It's not too extreme, but you'll definitely see darkened corners. When it comes to the color shift, pretty much like any other ND filter, it introduces a little bit. And in this case we get a slight bluish green tint, which is to be expected from an ND filter. But the good news is that it's consistent and easily correctable by either adjusting your white balance in camera or fixing it in post with a quick ray. Overall, the Sandmarc Motion Variable ND filter is a powerful and essential addition to your mobile filmmaker kit. It gives you real exposure control, lets you shoot at correct shutter speeds, and works seamlessly with or without additional lenses. Last, but definitely not least, let's talk about carrying all this gear. Sandmarc doesn't just have phone gadgets, they also have a travel backpack designed for phone creators. It's not just a camera bag, not just a travel bag, but a hybrid that fills the gap for creator travelers. This backpack comes in at 25 liters capacity and it's expandable to 30.5 liters. 25 liters is just perfect for daily carry or a quick trip. And with a built-in expansion zipper, you can pop it out to 30 plus liters to fit more clothes or gear for a longer journey. This bag is also carry-on approved, since its dimensions in non-extended mode meet most airlines' overhead or underseat size restrictions. And it's TSA friendly too. It opens clamshell style so you can lay flat if needed for security, and breezing through airport checks is easy since your tech is organized. Essentially, it's built for travel. Lightweight, compact, and designed to fit in overhead bins without drama. Inside, it has smart compartments and partitions for all your iPhone camera essentials. There are dedicated slots that can hold up to 4 Sandmarc lenses in the laptop compartment area. There are also pockets for your filters and even straps to secure a compact tripod. Of course, there is a padded sleeve for a 16-inch MacBook Pro and other for a 13-inch iPad Pro. On top of that, there are also smaller pockets for utilities, like cables, AirPods, or your everyday stuff. The top compartment is also roomy enough for a set of clothes. The moment I unboxed this backpack, I noticed the materials are on par with high-end adventure packs. It's made from ballistic nylon on the outside, and this is that super tough, water-resistant fabric that can handle scrapes and a bit of rain. The straps are well padded and ergonomically shaped. When I loaded the bag up, it was still comfortable on my shoulders. There are also cushioned grab handles on both the top and side. which is something that I really appreciate for quickly grabbing it from my overhead bin or carrying it briefcase style. The back panel also has a airflow padding, so I didn't get super sweating wearing it on a hike. Overall, this bag feels rugged, but also it feels slick enough to take it to the city. It's like they built it for the outdoors, but styled it for the city. I'd be just as comfortable bringing it on a plane or to a coffee shop as I would on a trail. What sets this backpack apart are all the creator-centric details. My favorite has to be the shoulder strap iPhone holder for POV footage. Yes, one of the shoulder straps has a built-in mount where you can slip in your phone, and this lets you record hands-free POV video from shoulder height while you're on the move. I also appreciate that it doesn't scream expensive camera gear inside. From the outside, it looks like a stylish black travel backpack. It's relatively minimalistic in design, so for security it's low-key. And with a weather-resistant shell and zippers, I feel confident if I get caught on a drizzle, my gadgets will be fine. After packing it up and walking around, I found it to be very comfortable for extended wear. The chest strap helps distribute the weight if you really load it, and the back padding is supportive. Coming in at $249.99, this is not a cheap bag by any means, but considering it covers the role of two bags, content creator bag plus travel backpack, and the build quality, it feels worth the investment, especially if you're a frequent traveler who creates content on your phone. So there you have it. Honestly, I'm impressed with how far mobile filmmaking gear has come. This setup makes it viable to shoot a short film or a travel vlog entirely on a phone without feeling compromised. The build quality across the board was top-notch, and it caters all the needs of creators first. It's gear that's trying to empower you to be more creative on the go, which I love as a solo content creator. Now I'm curious to know what you think. Might phones be the future of content creation, or will it stick to traditional cameras? Would you like me to make a video on how to shoot cinematic videos using just your phone? Drop a comment below with your take on this, or if you have any questions about the gear that I didn't cover. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more filmmaking videos. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.